Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of The Haunted Castle, a Japanese horror movie from 1969. The following plot synopsis was taken from the recent Blu Ray release. A blind monk is killed in a cowardly manner by a samurai lord. When the monk's sister is ordered to become the lord's concubine, she commits suicide and transfers her grudge to their black cat, who assumes the human form of one of the lord's ladies-in-waiting and begins to wreak havoc around the castle court. The lord's Machiavellian right-hand man and young swordsman combine forces to solve the mystery and stop the supernatural menace. Based on an 18th century legend, this is one of the fine and atmospheric examples of the Japanese ghost cat genre, which combines motifs similar to Western werewolf tales and demonic possession. So yes, this film begins with this samurai lord eyeing up the monk's sister. Like, he's not even being that, honorable about it. He's being pretty obvious. I mean, dude looks like he's planning a cold approach, in the modern day. But he's just doing some passive-aggressive commentary on her youthful curves and just kind of leaving it at that for now. In any case, this lord eventually sends one of his men to make a formal proposal for the girl to become his concubine. But the monk emphatically, rejects the proposal. And the lord gets angry about this. He calls him an imprudent fool and will not take no for an answer. So he invites him over to play a game of Go. And, he pushes the conflict over the edge because this lord tries to cheat at the game in an act of disrespect against the monk, but the dude catches him. So basically, this monk gets killed because he has the guts to stand up to this guy. Now, in terms of story and character development, The Haunted Castle, probably one of the more simplistic Japanese horror films from its era. One reason is that all of the likable protagonists basically die within the opening act of the film. And are you really going to root for the human villains while they attempt to survive these deadly supernatural attacks by this entity? Probably not. Nah, you really can't. Maybe you root for the ghost, but the dramatic impact is not as strong as some of the other Japanese classics that we've reviewed over the years. The good news, though, is that in terms of pure, old-school horror entertainment, this movie comes through. First and foremost, this is a bit darker and more briskly paced than maybe some other Japanese horror flicks from the 50s and 60s that maybe, spend more time on the plot and the character development. Virtually the entire film takes place at night, and the hauntings are practically non-stop. This is pretty fast-paced. Provides for thrilling viewing, especially when the Chamberlain attempts to take defensive measures and strategies against a supernatural threat. And the ghost cat's human form is surprisingly nasty and vicious. The execution of the horror set pieces is impressive. At times, body doubles are used to kind of transport this ghost to different locations, causing panic to its victims. And I like the scene with the ghost who approaches a woman with its hair flailing in the air and the face is lit brightly. These ghosts could get pretty aggressive. And I don't know, is ghost really the proper term? It's like this evil entity, really. The atmosphere and tone are eerie from start to finish. There's old school architecture, it's a samurai era type film, supplemented with nighttime lighting and shadows of tree branches. Lots of blackness is on screen, which makes the lit areas more pronounced. There's a lot of contrast in this. It's a very jet black colored movie, which is pretty cool. Runtime is only 1 hour and 22 minutes long. So, that's all I need to say about this. In terms of entertainment value, The Haunted Castle is a strongly recommended viewing for fans of old school horror. It's fun to watch, and I'm very happy to see it recently got a Blu Ray release, Region B, from Radiance Films as part of their Die Gothic Part 2 box set. So this is one I remember. I don't know how I saw it back in the day, folks. I probably rented it on one of those defunct rental services. But this one I always liked. So it's nice that an obscure little gem like this can get a release. So if you've seen this, let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you next time.